All right, y'all. Americans are fed up with today's economy, man, and the money that they wish they were making and the money that they're not making and all that kind of stuff. We about to get right into it. But first, light it before you light it. Hit the sub before you hit the bud, and join the team before you hit the green. And most importantly, hype me up. I need y'all to do that. I need them hypes like a crackhead need a pipe, man. Let's go.
25 cents and 3 pennies. That is my raise that I got today.
Boy.
For a whole year. 28 cents. I'm gonna let that sink in.
Get your popcorn ready. I know y'all seen that man burn that warehouse down in California. People tired of not making a livable wage. Tired of being broke. Tired of getting played. They tired. People tired of getting whipped and not being able to make ends meet on these jobs. 28 cents for the entire year. When she put it like that, get your popcorn ready.
Hey, bro, I'm looking at the comments, right? Look what somebody said in the comments. They said, meanwhile, the company reports record-breaking profits. Somebody else said, girl, you can literally go to the McDonald's drive-thru and pick up that exact amount of change off the ground. I forgot where that comment was at. Look what somebody else said. Girl, I got a 10-cent raise and I've been with the company almost 4 years, dog. It's rough out here for people, bruh.
Imagine working an hour just to afford 1 pound of ground beef. For the first time in American history, a pound of ground beef costs more than the federal minimum wage. Wow. Yep, America has officially lost the plot. The federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Meanwhile, ground beef can cost you anywhere between $6.50 a pound all the way up to $9 a pound. And if you want organic, baby, bring your wallet and a cosigner. I need y'all to think about how wild this is. The thing we used to call a cheap option for dinner is now competing with folks' hourly wage. And then you're constantly being gaslit by your leaders, told that the economy is doing great. For who? Because a lot of American families are working. They're doing everything they're supposed to, but they still standing in the grocery store, studying the math like they preparing for the SAT. Leaders listen to you when you struggle because a leader will try to solve your problems.
Hell yeah.
But when you're being gaslit, somehow the problem's going to always be you. You're not working hard enough. You're not budgeting enough. You're just not sacrificing enough. Meanwhile, hamburger meat got promoted, but your paycheck stayed the same. How are you guys handling these grocery prices? Because if ground beef is making more than some Americans are making per hour, we need to have a conversation, folks. Imagine working an hour.
Yo, look what somebody in the comment section said, bro. They said, look, man, America is gone. These people are struggling down their bad. Rent high, gas high. A pop is $4. That's a cold drink in New Orleans. Chips are $3.50. Do y'all remember when chips used to be like $4? $1 for 4 packs. I used to flip those chips. Go get them at Dollar General. They cost 25 cents a piece, and you would sell them for 50 cents at school, bro. Like, anyways, if you lucky to get a job, $22 an hour. I mean, luck up. They still can't do nothing but pay your rent and light bill and food and travel to work, bro. This is horrible, man. But back to that whole hamburger situation, bro. I came across a clip and this dude is highly upset about this hamburger situation, bro. And I'm upset for him.
Tonight, I'm here at the grocery store. I come to get some stuff. America's not going to be able to survive like this. How are we going to survive? I got stuff to make burger and fries, okay? I got enough meat to make 8 hamburgers, a pack of hamburger buns, a thing of charcoal, a bag of potatoes and grease. Take a wild guess. $50 damn $50 to make homemade hamburgers.
This is
and
wild.
French fries. There's no way we're surviving. I make good money, and this is not sustainable. I can't spend $50, and I didn't even get nothing. This right here was on sale for $3.99, so the charcoal was only $3.99. The rest of the food, hamburger meat, buns, potatoes, and grease, $45. We are so screwed.
Yeah, bro, we cooked. We cooked as a country, dog. I'm telling you, bro. And the rich are getting richer. And that's the only reason why they're saying we're not in a depression and everything like that, because the rich folks are still doing really well. As long as they doing good, everything's good. But if they start doing bad, they might give us the benefit of the doubt and just say, you know what? We are in a recession. we are in a depression. But as long as the top elite people still getting their bread, they'll never declare it, bro. That is wild to me, bro.
Zuckerberg's $300 million yacht just landed in Seattle, and it's sitting right behind me. Very interesting timing considering the fact that Meta just laid off 1,200 employees. This is a paddleboarder. This is the boat. Since I am a boat geek, I did do some research on this yacht because I do love boats. I'm an ex-deckhand. It cost $300 million to build this yacht. It uses 4 diesel engines to operate, so it uses diesel fuel. The cost to fill it up would be around $830,000. The yacht was built in 2024, but it's already been all over the globe, Tahiti, Norway, and now it is all the way here in the Puget Sound. It travels with a support vessel. It's actually in Elliott Bay right now, but the support vessel is basically a yacht in itself as well. To operate, it costs around $90,000 per day and $30 million per year. So what do you guys think about Zuckerberg parking his boat here right now? Zuckerberg's $300 million yacht just landed.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. That's wild. How many people have Meta laid off? Nah, real talk. How many people has Meta laid off? And this man cruising the world, the globe, to Tahiti and shit, to Cabo and shit, on a $330 million yacht that costs $830,000 to fill up with diesel. And they be saying white people get money and don't spend no money, man. Y'all like to post that picture of Mark Zuckerberg getting married or a baby shower. I forgot what it was. And it was nothing there. It was nothing fancy. Comparing that and contrasting that to when black people do prom and graduations and how we go all out. Man, this is what they spend their money on. $300 and something million on a yacht, bros. Man, don't ever tell me that they get money and get the hell on and just stay looking normal. No, they got expensive taste. You just don't see it. They buy things that's expensive, but it's gonna be out the way, like this damn yacht. I would have never known about this yacht if it wasn't for this video.
In case you don't realize just how bad the economy is, no one is buying anything anymore. Oh wait, sorry, not no one. Actually, half of all consumer spending for the first time in history is just the top 10% of American households. You know what that means? Our economy is literally held up by wealthy people because they are the only people who can afford to buy shit. And by the way, this doesn't mean that wealthy people are so amazing because they're helping our economy grow. No, why do you think they're the only people that can afford anything? Don't even get me started on the ultra wealthy people, because get this, since the 1980s, billionaires' wealth has grown by 4,500%, while wages only grew by 15%. And while workers' wages only grew 15%, rent went up 400%. College tuition went up 1,200%. Groceries went up 300%. So who's benefiting here? And here's a hint, it's probably not you. It's probably not your family, it's probably not your friends. So why are you defending them so hard? Oh, I think I'll be a billionaire one day, is what you say to yourself. Get the fuck over yourself. In case you don't...
Yo, that's wild. I'm looking at some comments, dog. Somebody said, we started revolutions on lesser facts. The French Revolution was started for less. Hey, bro, these people ain't want you to have religious freedom and y'all was shedding blood behind it. Now you can't feed your family and you won't bust a grape in a fruit fight. You won't throw rice in a Chinese wedding and these people are taking your ability to feed yourself away. That is wild. That's what them comments are telling me.
Completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. Like, what money? People are working full-time. Most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is going anymore. Like, a budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. Started using a budgeting app like mine to figure out where all of my money is going, but it does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in anymore. If you're struggling, you are not alone.
I mean, what else can you say to that, dog? Like, if it was just me seeing this on the internet and not knowing people in real life who are going through this would be a different thing for me. I'd probably be like this person right here. Well, another BS post that is wrong. Half of the people, no, 85% of us are fine. I would be out of touch like that person. They obviously don't know nobody who is struggling right now. between jobs. Been looking for the last 2 years. I know someone right now in my life, bro, who are so qualified for damn near any job and they can't get one, dog. I'm so serious. They taking up crazy shit. Used to be making over $250,000 to $300,000 a year. Now they have to do substitute teaching just to make ends meet at this point. I know someone personally like that.
This is why the average American is struggling and complaining about wages and the cost of living. Here's the math. There's about 80 million Americans making $50,000 or less. And these are essential jobs that we need to operate this entire country. And they are being underpaid. $50,000 after taxes, 401k, and health insurance is $2,900 a month take-home pay in 2026. Let's say they find an apartment with utilities for $1,500 a month. Let's say that they do a perfect budget of $100 a week for groceries. They don't eat out. They don't do DoorDash. They are perfect when it comes to their food. $400. Let's say they get a used car well below the average for $300 to get them back and forth on their 45-minute commute. Then they have $150 for car insurance, $150 for gas, $150 for cell phone and internet, and $100 for personal care. Leaves them with $150. And they have no student loans and no credit cards. How is somebody in America in 2026 who is financially perfect, zero debt, investing in their 401k, budgeting to the dime, has $150 left over? How do they go on dates? How did they travel? God forbid, what if someone passes away in their family and they have to go travel out of state to the funeral, or a friend is getting married? They would have to put that on a credit card. We have built an economy that if you're perfect, you still have to have a second job in order to make progress. And it's so exhausting to hear people just throw out these things. Would you ever think about cutting your expenses? What are you going to cut? This person is perfect. The wages have to go up, or we need to cut taxes on the first $100,000 and allow people to keep their money. Our generation got fucked. Hence the reason I wrote the book, Generation Fucked, How Millennials and Gen Zs were robbed of the American Dream and How We Can Fix Our Futures. The pre-orders are now available. Comes out July 14th. You can grab a copy of my profile. I go over so many things that happened over the past 50 years that led to this wealth inequality, from stock buybacks to private equity to the national debt to the cost of living crisis, wages, and solutions for policies and independent things that we can all do to reclaim the American dream and make it work for us.
Hey, bro, this dude wrote a book about the subject. He probably knows what he's talking about. Real talk. Dog, everything doubled and even tripled since COVID, brother. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. After COVID, they kept them prices high and they gaslighting us to believe that this is right and that we're the problem. Let's be real, bro. They increased them prices right after COVID and they ain't came down since. But these companies are making record profits. That's because it's built in at this point, bro. They could go back to charging prices before COVID. Maybe not all companies, but a lot of them can, because I know one thing, bro. Y'all are getting y'all shit wholesale a lot of times. Way cheaper than the general public can get it, but y'all are price gouging like a dog, bro. It is what it is. I don't trust none of them.
How crazy is this? This is how close households are to on the financial edge. 45% of households don't have enough money just for necessities. For necessities. 45% of households across the United States. That's nearly half. We are doing something wrong. The current system is wrong. Too many people are suffering. Too few at the top have too much. Have we not figured that out yet? That there's a handful of people at the top that have almost everything.
There's no scarcity of money.
And how's that working out? It means nearly half of the American population is suffering.
Jobs are not.
How does that make sense to anyone? Let me know what you think in the comments.
I'm gonna show you what they think in the comments, man. This funny right here. I did that. Just look at the pasta section when you go to the store. That will let you know real quick. Posting about it doesn't change anything. People are very aware of our situation. What should be asked is what the WTW, whatever. Anyway, bro, you want to know another litmus test? Go to your gas station. Go to your gas station and just walk around the pumps and see how much gas people are putting in their cars, man. I done seen some as low as sub $1. 80 cents, 70. I done seen something like that. Like, now I just need to make it home around the corner type of. Listen, dog, it's bad.
Man, I'm about to the point where I'm going to sell all my shit and start living like the Amish. If the economy don't get much better, that's exactly what we're going to do. Gas is too damn high. Groceries too damn high. Everything's just too damn high. It don't matter if you make $100,000 a year anymore.
I mean, it's like you making $15 an hour. You know, I mean, good Lord, man, something's got to give. And you're gonna have folks say, well, you got to budget your money better, and this and that and other. And while that may have some, play in it, I will say, but good God, at the same time, you can't sit here and tell me that the price of everything ain't gone up, because it has. I mean, this economy is trash, man. Well, you shouldn't have voted for the orange man. I didn't vote for anybody. Something's got to give. We got to do something. This crazy.
Exactly, and I'm with him on that. They do the statistics. I'm gonna show the video on this one later on in the show. Matter of fact, there's probably about 4 or 5 more videos where food went up 30% since COVID. Cars and gasoline's like 50% more since COVID. Man, everything, rent, housing is like 50%. It is crazy how much stuff costs. And I did the show the other day where a girl said she was making $100,000 and she was barely getting by.
Man, I'm about to the point where I'm
say, look, bro, I'm gonna show y'all something. Inflation is real. When people say that $100,000 is the new $50,000, I think that's actually an understatement, because think about it like this. There was a point in time that 4 for $1 on select discount grocery chips, right? I remember when these chips were 4 for $1. Now the same bag of chip costs you like 75 cents or some dumb shit like that, bro. I remember when the Lil Debbie cakes was a certain price. You can get like 2 oatmeal pies, a zebra cake, and a Swiss roll for $1. I remember that. If you make $100,000 now, you can't buy the same amount. That's it. The rent, bro. When I first moved out my mama house, dog, I had a spot. Me and my brother was sharing it, man. The rent was like $700. That same place today, I promise you, they want $1,600 for that. $50,000 is now, well, $100,000 today is $50,000. Basically, when I moved out my mama house, that's crazy to me.
I want to show you guys something that really helps illustrate just how out of control living in America is right now. I know so many people who are making more money than they could imagine, making more money than anybody else in their family has ever made, and still feels like they are struggling to get by. I really need people to say and understand how fake the rhetoric that we are using around like salary and purchasing power is. If you were somebody in 1991, in July 1991, that was the year and the month that I was born, if you were making $150,000 a year, if you had that purchasing power, right? In January of 2026, you would need to make almost $400,000 to have the equivalent purchasing power. And I pulled this up from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They have a calculator where you can calculate changes in CPI over time, right? And CPI is the Consumer Price Index. And that is the way that the government tracks things like changes in rent, groceries, medical bills, household items, right? It's not a static thing. They are taking into account what it takes to live a certain life. So somebody that was making $150,000 in 1991, you would have to make almost $400,000 in 2026. And another way to show this, right, is I kind of inversed it just to, again, paint the picture for people. $150,000 USD is the equivalent in 1991 in the month that I was born, the equivalent of somebody making $62,000. All of the metrics, all of the way that people talk about the economy, they talk about salary, they talk about inflation. These are based on models and metrics from the 90s that have not been updated. Because if they were updated, it would, I think, clearly show that if you are somebody, not to mention families, but if you are like an individual in the United States, if you're making like $100,000, if you're making $150,000, that is lower middle class, if we're being quite honest about it. That's crazy. I want to show you guys something that.
Hey, but the thing about it is this though, man. You know, I'm always gonna bring it to this. I just can't help it, bro. I talk to people who look like me, who was making money in the in the early 90s, but they wasn't making $50,000 a year. Hell no. They was surviving off 25, 30,000 a year. $50K a year, you was doing all right for yourself in 1991. It was nothing you couldn't get for yourself for the most part. You had food security, you had a shelter, you had a roof over your head. You could send your kids to a decent enough school. $50K in 1991, because you have to go back and think about it like this. How much did things cost in 1991? Now look, I want to show y'all something. This is what I asked Perplexity. Is 1991, my yearly salary is 50K. How much would my weekly take-home pay be roughly after tax and other deductions? For a rough estimate on 50,000 yearly salary, your weekly take-home pay is usually around 700 to 780 per week after federal taxes and common payroll deduction. A simple midpoint estimate is about 740 a week. Now, that's important for this. Now, I want to show y'all something else. Remember, 700 to 780 a week is what someone making 50K a year would take home, right? Now, how much did the average rent cost back then? In 1991, the national median rent for an unfurnished rental apartment was approximately $614 per week. So imagine if you just took home $780, you still got 100 and some change left over from that 1 week of work, and you done paid your rent. You get secured a roof over your head for the next month. Crazy. Let's take it a step further, goddammit. I asked, what was the median weekly grocery bill for Americans in 1991? In 1991, the typical weekly grocery bill for a family of 4 in the United States was roughly 92 goddamn American dollars, bro. In other words, 1 week, you got enough money to buy your whole house something to eat. And you still got the rest of the month left over. You're going to bring in another 700 and something for the next 3 weeks out of that same month. You got money to save at that point, bro. Life was better back then, bro. But then I went further. How much were people spending on gas weekly in 1991? In 1991, Americans were spending an estimated $10 to $15 per week on gas. This weekly cost is based on a national average of about $1.14 to $1.20 per gallon, bro. So when people be like, man, I give you $5 for gas, that meant something back then. That's like damn near 4 to 5 gallons worth of gas. Now, look, I ask it, what was the median down payment for a new home in 1991, dog? In 1991, the median sales price for a new home in the U.S. was around $120,000. Assuming the typical 20% down payment standard at the time, the median down payment was $24,000. However, because many buyers utilize conventional loans with down payments as low as 5%, the true median out-of-pocket down payment was much lower. So 5% of $120,000 would be what? About what? $6,000? 5 times 12 is 6. I mean, yeah, 5 times 12 is 60. So you looking at about $6,000 to get yourself into a new home. Bro, you lock in and save your money at a 50K salary in 1991, you'll have that $6,000 in probably 4 to 5 months with the way shit was back then. Come on, man. Today, well, you're going to have to come to the table even if you're putting down 3.5%. Per $100,000, the average or the median home is $450. 3.5 times 4. You talking about $14K right there. But you already penny pinching. It's gonna take you so long to get that $14,000 down payment, bro. Shit crazy out here.
Bro, if I knew how bad the economy was gonna be up to date, I wouldn't have been riding no bikes, playing no video games. I would have bought a house when I was 10. They did a study based on today's economy. Like, what should minimum wage be based on today's economy to make sure an American is comfortable living a day-to-day life, like with the prices, how the prices is up to date. Bro, do you know how much they say you need to make an hour to be comfortable around this motherfucker?
$80.
$66 fucking dollars an hour. Wow. $66 an hour, bro. Who the fuck making that? That ain't even the kicker. You make $66 an hour. You work 40 hours a week. At the end of the month, guess how much you gonna have in whole? 10 bands. Oh no, but don't think you taking the whole 10 bands. You forgot about Uncle Sam. You're going home with 6,500, maybe a 7-ball if you lucky. Okay, so eliminate all the bills and life expenses from that 6,500. You left even motherfuckers who making $66 an hour after paying all their bills and life expenses at the end of the month. They only gonna be able to save a band or two a month. So regular motherfuckers like me and you was just cooked. We po. We just at this point we just on the internet seeing who can be po better. Who can be best at being po. Bro, if I knew how bad.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I've had conversations about who grew up struggling the most before between people. It was a real life competition. Man, we went a week without eating. Like, damn, who does that? But no, bro, it's crazy out here, man. I empathize with anybody who's struggling right now. Real talk, cause your boy done struggled, man. Real talk. I done stayed in some places that get y'all the chills. Soulja Slim said that, but it's the truth, man. I stayed in places where people wouldn't even come visit me. I ain't lying. But listen, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one.